Hi and welcome to another edition of In the Mood to Scrap. My name is Wilna. So today's mood board is also brought to you by a P on the general scrapbooking board where I asked to share their mood boards, and Jennifer was so kind to share this particular mood board and I just fell in love with it. I think I love the colors, I love the different elements, and I was just thinking how wonderful they can translate into a scrapbook page, especially the deer with the flowers in its horns. I just absolutely love it, and this is the page that I created, and I'm so excited to show you how to create such a whimsical, fun page. So these are a couple of the supplies that I used, and you can see there's some gelatos, Heidi Swap Colors Shine. I just love those. Actually, it's 5 colors. It's the coral, pink, a lime, a navy, and a white. Some acrylic paint that we're going to do something with. And then I have some die cuts that I cut with my silhouette. The deer is a 2-piece in a bucket exclusive, so you can find a digital file under the 2-piece shop, in the 2-piece shop. And then I just have little embellishments that I have from my stash that I thought would work perfect with this page. There's also a frame by Heidi Swap, and I've just used them lots on pages lately. And then of course the ruffle paper by Dear Lizzy. So this is the 3rd page that I did with the ruffle paper. I'm so happy that I bought a bunch of it because I just cannot help myself. I just absolutely love the paper. I think it's because it's white and it's textured and it's just something different. So it's not just that plain white paper that I anyway love, but it's just beautiful and lovely to work with. So brace yourself, because we're going to be coloring with gelatos on the ruffle paper. I'm very happy to be able to do this for you, because even when I decided to do it, I was a little apprehensive, like, what if it doesn't work? So I'm bracing the way, I'm forging the way for you so that you don't have to be afraid to do it. You can see that I'm double coloring it because I wanted a navy, not just a blue, so I added black. I wanted a lime green, not just a yellow, so I used the lemon yellow and I just added some blue to it, and the pink and the coral, because I wanted my colors, my gelato colors, to match the color shine of the mists by Heidi Swap. So that was what I was thinking. Plus, I think this shows you how absolutely versatile gelatos are. You can literally create any color by mixing them like that. Right, so now we're adding some water. You can see I'm very gentle. There's a little piece that's tearing already. So just be so gentle. Work in one direction, so don't move your brush up and down. I'm just working down. You can see how beautiful the colors are blending so that you get that perfect navy, perfect lime green. And my brush is fairly wet, so I'm not afraid to make it wet. And now I'm going to add the color shine to the gelatos, and I'm going to work with the navy and then lime green, pink and coral. So just dry them a little, and you will see here that I'm turning my page around and I'm working with the grain, so that just for the first little bit when it's a little dry, and then you can move it to the other side to get that little bit of dimension in your color. But start off by working with the grain and just make sure that it's 100% dry before you add your mist. So now we're going to add the mist, and I'm going to stick with color on color. So you can see I'm dabbing it actually on the page itself, And the tissue paper is rather absorbent, so it bleeds. The paint bleeds into the paper, which is fine. So now I'm using the lime green. What I love about the mist, it really has a shine to it, so it creates a lovely look once it's dry. It's a little shiny, so now you just go color by color. And I am speeding this up just to show you how I'm adding the last bit of color. You can see how close the colors are to the gelatos. So that's exactly what I wanted. So you can put that aside, and now we're going to make little roses with acrylic paint. So I just drew some circles on a piece of cardstock, and you don't even have to make it spirals. You can just draw a circle, because we're going to be working with a little bit of impasto paint, and I'm drawing around 8 or 9 little roses and some leaves. So just use some white acrylic paint because we want it light, or that's how I wanted it. You might want it differently, and then just a touch of like a rose color or a pink or a red, and then you're going to mix it up, and we're going to just paint on those little roses. And you can see my brush is thin, so I don't have a real big brush, just a little brush. And then you just want to lay it on really thick on the, and you can see how it makes a little flower just with the impasto, and just let it dry. And then we're going to add a touch of color to that, and then you can use it as little embellishments on your page. So I'm just speeding it up just to show you. It's not really rocket science at all. And now I'm just going to add some darker red, and you're going to see how I'm just dabbing a little bit of the paint to the inside of the roses, and then you can paint some green on the leaves. So this is one that I've done already, and it's dry, and it takes around 3 to 4 hours to dry 100%. So moving on to the page, before I start, I just wanted to make sure that the color mist is dry. So I'm just using my embossing tool to dry it really quick. And then I'm going to dab it with a paper towel just to make extra sure, because I don't want to be smearing any paint over my page more than necessary. Right, now for the fun part. We're going to start to embellish our page. And I must admit that when I saw the background dried and everything, I was so in love with this idea of the ruffle paper and the gelatos that I might or might not have squealed with delight. But anyway, that's beside the point. I'm using a frame by Heidi Swap. This is the most lavishly, wonderfully made frames. It's heavyweight, it's beautiful, you can color it, I'm sure, and it's just lovely. And the reason why I'm using the circle frame is because of the wreath on the mood board. That just reminded me of something to celebrate, and I wanted to recreate that wreath on my page. So I'm going to be adding elements to that circle frame so that it resembles a wreath. And I'm just going to add some hot glue to the deer head. And also what I love about this background is it makes it pop, the deer. You can see the silhouette of the deer on the colorful paper, so that's just lovely. So now we want to add some florals and flowers to the horns, and then decorate a wreath or make it look like a wreath. So that is the fun part of this page. So I'm using some of the flowers that we made, but I also are going to use some of the Dear Lizzy epoxy flowers, and I'm detaching them from their base. You'll see that in a second. That is Sundrifter, the Sundrifter collection. I still had an embellishment pack, and I just love the feathers and the flowers in there as well. So I'm going to be layering pieces of flowers and things, feathers and flourishes, and just beautiful little elements to make this page so interesting and fascinating to look at. Right, obviously I was cold, so I put my sweater on and cutting out the flowers, and I'm not going to use all of them, but I just wanted to see how they look, so I kind of like them a lot. Just adding a bit of hot glue and really just playing with some elements before adhering it, seeing what works, sticking things in. It's just a lovely, fun process to work with. And I'm going to, the flourish is something you can find on the Silhouette store. Just search for flower flourish and you will find it in the Silhouette store. And I cut 2 of them because I knew that I wanted to add them around the reef, and you can see I cut them in half, one of them. So just layering it with feathers, and now I just want to add this die cut behind the reef. It's by Dear Lizzy and it says love being together, and I think the color scheme is perfect with this page, and I just loved how it looked. Right, and then I'm layering little triangles just like in the mood board, and I found these little triangles that is gold in my stash. I think it's from a kit that I got long ago, and I'm so happy that I still had them. Of course you can just spray paint a page gold and cut little triangles out of it, but I think that the whole idea here is to keep it very light, airy, very whimsical. Don't make it too much. It's always a good idea when you know when to stop on a page, and I think right there I realized that I'm done. So thank you so much for watching this edition of In the Mood to Scrap. I hope that I inspired you to do something different and daring, like using gelatos on ruffle paper. And I hope that you enjoy the process, and I'll see you soon. Bye.